Welcome to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. Hosted by David Thomas, Bill Anderson, Kenny Parker, and Jason Boyette. Brought to you by First Bank, Kincaid Service Company, and Piggly Wiggly. Let's get ready to talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David, Bill, Kenny, and Jason.
Welcome at Bedford County Sports Live. I'm Bill Anderson, Jason Boyette, the coach Kenny Parker, and we've got a very special guest today.
Well-dressed guest.
Yeah, very well-dressed guest.
Yes, sir.
The new Eaglet basketball coach, Chad Spencer. And boy, we are happy about this one, aren't we, guys?
Coming back home.
That's right.
Great hire.
Made the circle, and now he's back at home.
Well, I dressed up because anytime I can talk about the Eaglettes, I want to let everybody know how serious I am. So it means a lot to me. So if I get up and put on a sport coat, I'm not dressed up below the waist.
Yeah.
So I got on blue jeans and tennis shoes. So
You got on jorts underneath there.
yeah. Right. Yeah.
I didn't know I had anything.
Easy.
Yeah.
We're going to come back. We're going to hear from our sponsors. We're going to hear from First Bank right here in Shelbyville.
And also,
Piggly Wiggly.
that's right. And also Kincaid.
Service.
Company.
Let's hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Shop local at Shelbyville Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street. From farm fresh produce and hand-cut meats to pantry staples, dairy, frozen favorites, and household essentials, we've got your list covered at hometown prices. Don't miss our weekly ad and truckload meat sales. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Visit 874 Union Street, Shelbyville, or call 931-684-1363. Follow us on Facebook for the latest specials. Shop local. Save big at the Pig.
At Kincaid Service Company, we've proudly served Middle Tennessee since 1934. Families across the region trust us for quality furniture, appliances, electronics, and the kind of service only a hometown business can provide. From living room sets and dining collections to washers, dryers, refrigerators, and the latest in home entertainment, Kincaid has everything you need to make your house a home. And when it comes to a great night's sleep, our showroom features leading brands of mattresses, offering comfort and quality you can count on. We don't just sell products, we stand behind them. When you buy your appliances or electronics from Kincaid, our expert service team is here to keep them running for years to come. It's the kind of care that sets us apart. For value, selection, and service you can trust, visit Kincaid Service Company today, locally owned and community strong.
On game day, winning is everything. But life's big wins happen off the field. When you win a heart. When you win their trust. When you win their respect. First Bank's community banking is perfect for life's big wins because of what we're big on. You. Make us part of your team for life's biggest wins.
Welcome back. Bedford County Sports Live. Coach, start with your story and tell us how this, because it was great talking to you before about where we started. The journey and how you got to where you're at today.
Like when I first started coaching basketball, I started like a lot of coaches. I started coaching junior pro, and I had a little team that was really good, and I was working at ESP, which I think they call SACP now.
Right.
And so I had access to the gyms to practice after school. So I'd practice those girls. And I thought, man, some of these kids are pretty good. So I kept them with a little AAU team that we had, Shovel Sports Shop, that Miss Billy and Buddy sponsored us. And Coach Insel was over that program, and these little kids, man, they just get after it. And I started playing like full court with them. Like we would press and everything. I nicknamed them the Piranhas. And because anything to get the kids going.
Yeah.
And so they bought into it, and I took that group and did real well. And then I was a volunteer assistant at Harris Middle School with when Ashley Johnson played. And then all of a sudden here come the Alex Fuller and her group and Cherie Bailey, and we were the Cannon girls, and we were loaded. So then I stayed with that group. When they moved to high school, Rick moved me up to the high school with them. And so I stayed with that group till they graduated, and I started teaching school at Liberty. It was the first place I started teaching in like 2000. I coached girls and boys there, and we had some really good teams. I've been blessed with a lot of good players and good assistant coaches. Oh yeah.
Makes you look good.
And my boys team was the first year there. My first year there, I coached boys only. And I had some young men that they just played their tail off for me. And then end up getting Deontay Twilley, and then Emmanuel Andrews, and all of them came in, and we were unbelievable. Like those boys were dunking in middle school.
Right.
Like we'd start the game with a little alley-oop play to Emmanuel. And but Deontay was such a good little point guard, and he was so unselfish. Like he would come and he'd say, "Coach, who hadn't scored?" And we'd put him in, and he'd drive and dish him the ball and get a chance to score. And then when Coach Insel went to MTSU, I decided I'm try it on my own, and I went to Mr. Looper, or Coach Looper at the time. He was my coach when I was a kid. He called me one day at Cascade in early morning on a Friday and said, "Are you going to apply for this job or not?" I said,
That sounds like
just like
it.
I said, "Yes, sir, I'm thinking." He said, "Come over and see me this afternoon." So I went over there. We got in his car. This is my job. We got in the car and drove to the District 9A softball tournament at Eagleville. And there he introduced me to Bill Tollett and Mr. Delt from Forest and all those guys. And I thought this would be a cool district to be in. And then I started coaching at Cascade, and I was there for a while. And then I had the opportunity to go to Ole Miss, and who I couldn't pass that up. Who goes from country basketball to the SEC, basketball, which was it's like a business, and the SEC is, in women's basketball, it's top, the line, and just being down there and getting meet a lot of people.
Bubba was the head coach down there at that time.
Matt was the head coach, and he gave me an opportunity, and Matt worked his tail off down there. What a lot of people don't realize is when Matt took over that program, they had been on the coaches before them. Right. They had a couple coaches in like a couple years, and one group got them. One group got them on probation.
Right.
So Matt when he took that program over, he didn't have the scholarships everybody else had to compete in SEC. So, he was doing all he could, and we're playing South Carolina's, and Sophie Cunningham was at Missouri. I mean, those kids you still hear about.
Right.
Asia Wilson. We're trying to guard Asia Wilson with kids that, we just couldn't keep up. Now we had Lady Balls beat, and they hit a shot at half court to beat us.
Yeah.
And but we did win several SEC games when I was down there with him, and it was fun. He gave me an opportunity, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife and I, we came back to Bedford County, which I'm blessed to have my wife Scarlett she supports me in all these, dreams that I have, whether it's basketball or horses and things like that. So I couldn't do it without her. And then I went to Lynchburg for 5 years, and we did real well down there. And again, I had some really good players, and they bought into what I taught, and we had a lot of success, and
made the Final Four one year, wasn't it?
we were in the finals.
Finals.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolute finals. 2 years ago.
2 years.
Two
Yeah,
years
2 years ago, and then we came back the next year when I had a lot of senior, but we had a lot of injuries.
Farewell could have been there this year. Dadgum Richland was the thing good.
Yeah, Richland was. I mean, they were good. And they had a little point guard or something else, but
Well,
they only beat us by a handful of points
Right.
both times. And we was young. I played like 3 freshmen half the time, and we beat a lot of bigger schools with those young girls. And so hopefully I can get these new young ladies that I'm gonna be in charge of to buy in, and hopefully we can get it going again. Because I met the girls last week before spring break. I had to go through all the paperwork to get my background check and all that, so I could talk to them. And those girls seem very excited. They're eager to learn. I think they got a lot more talent than what people think. A lot of speed,
Don't disagree.
a lot of
with
talent,
that.
got some size.
Got some size.
And they're eager. They're eager to learn. I could tell by looking, when I first met them, by the look on a couple of young ladies' face that they're ready to, to get going in the right direction. And so,
and from what I've been told, Coach, there's talent all the way down to the 6th grade right now. We've got a good bunch of young girls,
good group of
middle
school
coming up from Harris too. So what a great time to come somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I've snuck over and watched Harris play a few times. I've been doing it so long now. I coach several of those middle school kids' mothers, so they know how I am, and a lot of them are like, Coach, when you come back over here, won't you come back over here? And so I thought I could sneak in a Harris game and watch them and leave. It didn't work out that way. I ended up seeing a lot of people that I knew and took some pictures with some people.
You can't go home and sneak in somewhere. You're home.
Yeah. But I'm excited.
You're a male eagleette. That's what you are. You're a male eagleette.
The Eaglettes I got asked by somebody a couple weeks ago, and I grew up with a lot of the Eaglettes. Like I grew up with Mariah Lonergan and Monique Lonergan and Nita Overcast and Tiffany. I mean, the list goes on.
You and I were in high school at the Peak.
Y'all were there at the Peak.
Yeah, and
I was too.
Yeah.
Well, I remember in 8th grade when Tiffany transferred from Moore County, she was in my homeroom, and we went to PE class, and had us playing little tournament ball, and they thought they were going to put her on the other end, and she was going to play with them girls. Well, it didn't take long. She was over with playing with guys and beating us.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just a competitor. But I grew up with all those girls, right? In the peak of it. So, I was always just drawn to it. And then when Coach Insel took me under his wing and taught me a lot, and I'm be forever grateful to him and his family for that, because basketball has taken me all over the world. I would have never got to see some of the places if it wasn't for the game. And I like to, try to give back. And I've just, in Middle Tennessee, or Tennessee rather, women's basketball is very popular. I mean, it's very popular. And so I just enjoy it. I've coached girls and boys, but I think I like coaching girls better. And they
girls listen a little better, don't they?
Well, what I've learned with girls is you have to, like with video, like game film. When I've coached girls and boys, with girls, you have to, some people don't like critiquing. And when you're going over stuff, you're in the wrong spot here, you got to do that or set this screen better. But at the same time, you need to catch them doing right and show them that they're doing it right. Guys, on the other hand, they're more watching film. Or, hey, do I look like I'm going to be on Sports Center? How cool do I look? And
right.
But girls seem to, they want to please. And plus, I've been blessed all these years. I've had a lot of overachievers, not only in, on the basketball court, but in the classroom. I never have to worry about grades or getting in trouble and things like that. And I think these girls that I'm getting, they already know the standards. I'm not a big goal guy, like setting goals. We just set standards, and we've got to live up to the standards. And I think our communities fired up about the Eaglettes, getting them back on the right track where everybody's proud of them again. Right. And I think I've got the young ladies to do just that. You know, there's not a time I pull in the city limits that I don't look at that sign and, right. You know, and now more than ever, it really means something to me. I started to get out and take a picture of it one day, yeah. But I'm afraid somebody think, you know, I broke down on the side of the road or I'm trying to buy somebody's house or something.
Yeah.
Well, obviously there is some talent here. What is going to be the biggest thing that you've got to change immediately taking this job? Is it going to be off season? Is it going to be conditioning? What's the biggest thing that you're facing with these girls right off the bat?
Well, the thing I'm most impressed with is when Mr. Pope, you know, offered me the job, and I'm be grateful for him putting his giving me the responsibility to grow it again. Is the Shelbyville Central High School gym looks like a small college up there now. Great now. It's awesome. Right. Yeah. It's awesome. The weight room, they've got I have full-time strength conditioning coach, and the girls are already, since I've taken the job, they're already up there lifting weights and running and conditioning, and we'll start open gym stuff this week. Mm-hmm. And just getting them to, you know, once I get to evaluate them, I'll see what style that I'm going to do. I'm not one of those guys like I know this style and I'm going to try to force kids to run my style. I'm not like that at all. Right. You know, I'll back up and punt a heartbeat. You know, if this ain't working, we're going to try something else. But because I think that we're going to have a lot of speed, so I hope that we'll come in and be able to play a style of basketball that everybody's going to like, but pushing the ball and you know, full court defense, things like that.
Wasn't your first years at Cascade, weren't you and Coach Pope? Was Coach Pope coaching the boys at the same time? Yeah. I know Coach Edwards went on to
yeah, Charlie coached the boys, I coached the girls, and
I coached football.
And you coached football.
We were all there together.
Oh yeah. And Ralph was Charlie's assistant at the time. And I remember our first game we played Harpeth, and they had beaten the brakes off Cascade girls the year before. And we went down there, and it was my first high school game as a head coach, and I wanted to win bad. And I was told that morning, hey, Chad, you got the girls in the right direction. They're working good, because they killed our girls last year. And so I kind of, you know me, I like a challenge. So I thought, well, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I went down there fired up. And while I was watching the Harpeth girls come out of the locker room, and you could tell that they thought they were just going to wipe the floor with us. They were shaking people's hands in the bleachers and all that. Well, we ended up getting a lead early on, like 16-12 first quarter, and I went putting it in the freezer. And so I held the ball for the majority of the game. I had a little point guard, little Bledsoe girl, fast as lightning. She's running around there chasing around, but we ended up winning. But I remember after we won, and even though Mr. Pope had a game right after that, he made sure he came in the locker room and congratulated myself and the girls on the team, and that was a big confidence boost for us from that point on. I think you drove us to East Robertson the next time. I had Kenny drive the bus, and we're going down to their bigger school, and we went down there, and we had a big time, and we beat them. I had all my whole people on the bench with me are all football coaches. I think Kenny and Maurice Carcup sat with, and we had a lot of fun that year.
Yeah. My next question: when you gonna break out the suit that you and Ralph Edwards? You gonna get you one of those? He's a sports blazer guy. I'm looking forward to the.
I don't know about
gold sports blazer.
That looked good, wasn't it?
Well, the history of those loudmouth suits. Well, the first Dixie got me my first blazer. Miss Kenny's mom got me an orange blazer I would wear at Cascade, but we were in such a big district back then. There was like 9 teams in it, and the student sections were horrible to each other. They were so bad at the stuff they would yell to the kids that we thought
back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, and the players. So we thought, what can we do to stop this? So Ralph and I came up with an idea that we saw Tom Hodges doing at
Morehead State.
So I called Tom, and he gave me this guy's number, and I made a phone call and asked what our school colors were. And about a week later, these loudmouth Argyle suits show up. Me and
orange and black and white. I mean, it looked like somebody put a quilt together.
Oh yeah, and we wore them during the games, and people would heckle us. They'd say, "That's the ugliest suit I ever saw." But they weren't yelling at the.
They're yelling at you. You taking the heat off of them.
Yeah. I was taking all the bullets in, and me and Ralph. And matter of fact, and that's back when my golf team was rolling. And so those were golf pants, so I'd wear them to the.
Did you ever walk right in front of their student section just to kind of rile them up a little bit?
They did.
Oh yeah, yeah, and
they wouldn't wear them just to any game. It was a big game.
The biggest.
When it
games.
was the big game,
they had them
home or away, home or away.
But it all, and we started winning in it. So now grew up playing baseball, so you don't mess with a winning streak. So I just kept wearing it, and I still have that thing in my closet. Let's
Can you still wear it?
No, I don't. I was probably. Well, I don't know. I might could. My
weight
fluctuates from so I might have to squeeze it on.
The dynamic duo.
Yeah,
Spencer and Edwards come out in the.
Yeah, we had a big time.
It was fun.
One thing I think you'll like at Shelbyville right now. Of course, Shane Young's my main man, but I think you're going to get along great with Coach Young and Coach Dryden, the AD, also the football coach. Seems like everybody up there from baseball, all the coaches really get along.
They do.
And you've been a lot of places, and I'm sure you've seen it where it wasn't that way. That's going to be, I think, an advantage to where everybody, I think, works with each other really well.
Yeah. Winning breeds winning, so, and I hope that I can get my team to go and support these other teams, and then they'll come and support us. And I like to get like student section leaders in the at the games, in the pep clubs and things like that. And I'll usually try to get them a shirt and stuff. Matter of fact, I had a young man that was doing it for us when I was at Moore County, and I thought, man, this kid is really getting the student section going. So I knew he either really likes basketball or he's sweet on one of the girls on my team. So I asked around.
Either way, he's sticking around.
I asked around, and they said, yeah, I think he likes, Katie. So I'm like, Katie, give him a shirt. Come find out, he didn't even go to Moore County. He went to community. He'd come to all our games. But then he ended up transferring over there. But he was, he would get our student section going. But I like to, get involved with that, because when I grew up, Mike Bone was great about the bleacher creatures.
Right.
I think Mr. Bone bought his own way to screen print shirts, and he made us all bleacher creature shirts. And I thought that those times in high school were just unforgettable. I love my time when I graduated from Shelbyville Central High School was the most fun I ever had in my life. I love going to school. We had so much fun stuff to do. Matter of fact, I tried to co-op my senior year to work. I was working down the Auto Pride car wash, and then everybody said, well, this happened at school. So I ended up going back and said, hey, I want to go back to class. So they stuck me in a bunch of classes so I could be there to 3.
Had cool teachers too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. No, we did. Coach Kenny and Coach Thaxton. It was fun.
So I would assume getting back to Shelbyville has always been a dream of yours. It's always been in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah, this is it's been kind of I've been thinking about it. I wouldn't say it's been the plan all along, but Bubba D's been trying to get me to take his job for 14 years.
Right.
And but the timing just wasn't right. The last time it came open, like I said, we made the run at the state tournament, and we're in the state finals, and I had all those girls coming back, and I had a lot of, I had some special kids. I rarely had to coach effort.
Right.
They just, and the Moore County fans over there have been unbelievable support. Like our games are packed.
Yeah.
I mean, they were packed to be at a small community, but that whole district is.
Yeah.
I try to stay. We still played Cascade and played community and a lot of the local teams
yeah.
now. I don't like driving 200 miles to try to
Right.
play a school.
Right.
It's the same size. If I can
Right.
go right next door, I don't care if they're bigger than us or not. That's the most fun about sports, is beating people you're not supposed to. And you can't beat them if you don't play them.
That's true.
I'll say this. I've always said when I was coaching, and I had them tell me when I started coaching, you don't ever want to go home too quick. Because if you go back to where you went to school too quick, they think of you as Chad Spencer, the student, and not Chad Spencer, the coach. And you had a chance, just like Coach Bone gave me the opportunity to develop away from Cascade. And when I got able to go back to Cascade, I wasn't Kenny Parker, the student or the player.
Right.
I was the coach.
Teacher and the coach. Yeah.
You're the same way. You could have went back to Chevrolet 14 years ago, but then you would have still been known as Chad Spencer, the student. I think you're smart in building and doing what you've done. And I look forward to watching you.
I had to go out
again.
and prove it to myself
Sure.
too, and make my mistakes and learn from my own mistakes. And when I was a young coach, I probably did make a lot of mistakes, just trying to emulate other people. I grew up watching Bobby Knight on and things like that, and so
we should expect a chair to get thrown this year.
I hope not. You get fined big time for that now.
$250.
I still get fired up, in the game, get into the games, but it's nothing like it used to be. But now, back in the old days, you have to stand. You had a coaching box as big as this table.
Right.
Gosh forbid you get a toe out of it. You could hit a three and they'll say, give you a technical foul, but now you can go the whole sideline. But now I'm older, so I don't have that energy to run up down there.
I'm gonna hold you to that. Now I hear you.
Reminds you of some of those crazy games when Rick was here with, what was that guy's name over at Franklin County?
Harlow.
Jack
Oh,
Harlow.
yeah.
Y'all remember some crazy stuff back in the day?
Jack was still volunteering and coaching at East Hickman. Matter of fact, he reached out to me about being an assistant coach with me when I was at Moore County.
What about your assistants? What are you going to be able to do here at Chevrolet?
Well, I'm still in the process of trying to wrap my head around that.
Where you want to go?
And so I've got my eye on a couple, and
you don't need to speak.
But now if it all works out, I think it's going to be good for myself and the girls.
Good.
Good.
I want somebody that's going to be here for a while. I'm not just use Chevrolet as a truck stop for a minute till they can move on to the next. I want somebody that's going to work hard and loyal. And then nowadays, with Huddle, you have that software that you can, scout games and share films and all that. I like, get somebody that knows a little bit about that, but thank goodness for that. Nowadays, they make scouting so much better than it used to be. Used to, you drive all hours of the night trading video. People probably thought, what kind of deals are going on in this gas station parking lot.
Right.
I remember they used to, now in Lynchburg, I would trade film with Herman Harden. We'd put the DVD or the VHS tape on top of the phone booth, and then we'd pull in there and get it. But you had to do it, especially come tournament time. But that was so much fun too back in those days. You built relationships.
You built relationships with the other coaches. Now you don't build those. I mean, we did the same thing. Of course, here's the difference between you and I. We changed VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
But you were able to build relationships with your other coaches. Now you wire them things across, and a lot of times you don't know.
Well, you'll get a video request for a game for a coach. You don't know who they are at all. And
we got somebody coming here. Good to have you back. From Tony Sanders that gives you a fist bump.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right.
Oh yeah. I grew up playing baseball with Tony Sanders. Yeah.
And we got Scott Spray. He is watching.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to have him.
Scotty, he don't miss a game.
Nope.
Yeah.
Super
He'll
fan.
be sitting right behind your bench too.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
And
just
matter of
make
fact,
sure he's wearing his shoes.
at the ceremony when Coach Hensel retired and they named Matt, Brother Walls was down there, and Brother Walls doesn't miss a game either. So like get Brother Walls back in that locker room too. And so I hope we can get a lot. I've had a lot of former players and a lot of the fans that used to come. And I was at a baseball game and got a phone call from a 684 number on my phone. And I thought, 684. And so I answered it because I wasn't sure what my wife's landline phone number was at Pinnacle Bank. So I thought I better answer the phone. And it was an older lady on there and said, Coach, I've not been in a game in 20 years. Let me know when season tickets go on sale. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And if whoever's watching, I never asked her name, but she talked like she knew me. So I was afraid to ask her. I said, I'll let you know. So
you still got that number saved?
I got it in my phone.
Right, there you go.
And, if we can get the community back behind these young ladies,
It'll come.
It'll change, because that
winning
gym
cures
up there,
all.
Yeah.
Winning cures all. It really
There's
does.
a lot of history in that.
It is.
In the grill. I
agree.
still call it the grill. It's what Coach called it. But I remember going to so many Night of Champions, best U.S. tournaments and all that. It was just phenomenal back in those days. Sitting at the top. They'd sit on them up at the rafter. I mean, you had to get to the cleaners down there and buy your ticket. You know, so
Did you ever think you would run the Eaglet basketball camp? You're going to be in charge of that now. You still got it, don't you?
Well, they don't do it anymore.
They don't do that anymore.
No,
wow.
They don't do it anymore. I think at some point here, I might put somebody on the spot here, but when I met Dr. Garrett and Mr. Harwell, they were like, we're working on getting you a new gym floor. I think this one's been sanded to the point. You can't really, it's probably got some.
Right. Yeah.
And I did dribble a ball.
I think that's the original floor one.
No, it's been, but
Maybe
it's
one.
pretty close.
After you sand one several times and
Yeah.
put your stuff, you'll get dead spots on it. I was trying to hunt for some the other day, and if they do that, I don't know if it'll be this summer or next summer. It's hard to do that.
Correct.
I
agree.
I always take my kids. We go to NTSU team camp now. That's where everybody goes. And
I think Kevin Thomas was the last one to have the camp that I remember.
Really?
I think
Yeah,
KT did do it.
Well, Berkey did it too.
Did he?
Yeah, Lynn did it.
But Lynn was before KT, right?
Yes.
Yeah. KT just won.
Lynn was there right after Rick.
Yeah. And they did it. And that helped us get where we were at Cascade. We would host.
You would have some
used
games over there. Yeah.
That team camp was so big.
D said it is the original floor.
I
It is
thought
the
I thought that
original.
was the original floor.
Wow. Okay. It is time.
And
Then.
Scott Spray says that he will be at all practice.
Hey,
Gotta get him a
I don't do close. A lot of people think I don't do close practices. I like people to come. Just
I'll be there with my air horn.
Yeah.
a matter of fact, your mom came to a few of our practices at when I was at Cascade, and but when I was helping with Coach Insel and you'd see those fans that would come, I always felt like it made the girls work harder because you'd see how much it means to everybody that these people are taking time out of their day to come watch these young ladies practice and work. And so I don't have close practices.
And during that time, the bottom part of the gym floor was about full of people watching practice.
Yes.
I mean, it was a big. You could have sold tickets to get in there
Right.
for practice.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, well, I've got some work to do. Don't get me wrong. Also, we got to generate some funds to get behind the girls. But like you just said, the best fundraiser you can do is win.
Winning cures everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Coach, it's good to have you.
It is. Glad
Home run hire
glad
from
to
Charlie
have you
Pope,
back.
Bubba D, all you guys. This right here is a home run
I
hire.
agree.
Glad to have you back.
Glad to have him back.
You know what it takes to win. You've been here when it was at the height,
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, like I tell everybody else, if you need me, I'll call you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I expect y'all being there. I had a funny with Kenny's dad story. One time I was coaching the game and I had I did middle school and high school. And it was a lot of work, but your kids knew your system when they got to high school. So you could play freshman early, which to me, it doesn't matter what grade you're in anyway. I'm playing the kids that work the hardest. If they're freshmen, they're freshman. That doesn't matter to me. But anyway, I had a team with just 6th and 7th grade girls at Cascade. We didn't have any 8th grade girls. They all moved up. It was that group that was pretty good with Parker and Skuse and Pig and Simpson and all that group. So we're playing in a game, and I tell the coach, hey, look, y'all are going to win. Just don't press these little girls' brains out. Well, they did it, and I know a lot of it's because I was coaching. They want to get, back at me or whatever. But I had a mom come down who was a coach and said, there's 7 girls on that team he's not put in. So now I'm kind of fired up a little bit. So after the game, we're walking, shaking hands, and I'm shaking. And I kind of, not as bad as what Gino and Dawn got into it last night, but it kind of got heated a little bit when I was talking to this other coach, which he didn't coach much longer after this. But after the fact, I hear somebody else behind me in the handshake line, and it was George. He'd walk through the handshake line with us. He was right there with us, and I'll never forget. I thought that was so funny. But I've been fortunate enough to always have a lot of support around me, and I'm sure it's going to continue here at home, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It can't get here fast enough.
Good stuff. Guys, let's take a break. We're going to hear from our sponsors. First Bank, Save Big at the Pig, Shop Local. They got a real butcher.
A real butcher. That's right.
That's exactly right. And also we got
Kincaid
Service
Company.
Let's take a break. We'll be back. We're going to talk a little, run down some baseball scores. We'll be back in just a minute.
Shop local at Shelbyville Piggly Wiggly. Down home, down the street. From farm fresh produce and hand-cut meats to pantry staples, dairy, frozen favorites, and household essentials, we've got your list covered at hometown prices. Don't miss our weekly ad and truckload meat sales. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Visit 874 Union Street, Shelbyville, or call 931-684-1363. Follow us on Facebook for the latest specials. Shop local. Save big at the Pig.
At Kincaid Service Company, we've proudly served Middle Tennessee since 1934. Families across the region trust us for quality furniture, appliances, electronics, and the kind of service only a hometown business can provide. From living room sets and dining collections to washers, dryers, refrigerators, and the latest in home entertainment, Kincaid has everything you need to make your house a home. And when it comes to a great night's sleep, our showroom features leading brands of mattresses, offering comfort and quality you can count on. We don't just sell products, we stand behind them. When you buy your appliances or electronics from Kincaid, our expert service team is here to keep them running for years to come. It's the kind of care that sets us apart. For value, selection, and service you can trust, visit Kincaid Service Company today, locally owned and community strong.
On game day, winning is everything. But life's big wins happen off the field. When you win a heart. When you win their trust. When you win their respect. First Bank's community banking is perfect for life's big wins because of what we're big on. You. Make us part of your team for life's biggest wins.
Welcome back to Bedford County Sports Live. We're going to run down some baseball scores, guys, and some softball. Like we talked about last week.
Got a lot going on this week.
Hey, the Shovel Girls got their first win. We know 7-2 for the
couple weeks ago,
Cup
right
Snell,
before spring break,
which was nice.
Which big win.
Shovel Boys lost to Smyrna. They won the first game, lost the second game 4-2. Then they had to play Lincoln County, lost 8-3, and they lost to Lincoln County the next night 7-2. But in this tournament up here, and I believe it's right here at Shelbyville, they beat Hubbard, Ohio 13-3. They beat Lebanon, Indiana 9-3, and I believe they play Monroe, Indiana today. And then we've got a district game coming up. Monday, it's Coffee County in the district, and we got Coffee County on Tuesday, the way they do that. And Thursday, you've got Sequatchie County. These softball scores are hard to find.
They are hard to find.
Now, I can find baseball scores, but you can't find a softball scores nowhere.
And then during this week, it's a hard week because they're on spring break. And
right.
I don't think Shelbyville and Cascade are playing much, and Unionville went to Fort Walton Beach, so it's hard to find them.
Right. Well, Forest played Cascade. Cascade won one of the games 4-0, and Forest won the second game 3-2.
That's baseball.
In baseball. Now, how about them beating Eagleville 12-3? That was a big win for Cascade baseball right there.
Yeah,
that's a good win. And then they beat Moore County 6-0, and they've got Davidson and County this week. Community got a win over Hubbard, Ohio, 8-5 in this little tournament. That was their second win in baseball. The girls, they play everybody. That community girls softball team, his schedule is brutal.
And that, like I said, they're in Fort Walton Beach. They ought to be on their way home now.
They lost to Lincoln, Ohio, 4-3, and then they beat Bath County, Kentucky, 8-4, and then they beat Logan Elm of Ohio, 12-3. And I'm gonna mention Scott Hall out of Webb boys baseball. They're 10-5 now.
And he's playing everybody. He's playing everybody.
He's playing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jason Baker, I was talking to him. That was nice that they swept BGA and they beat Anderson County this week. So that was pretty interesting. Guys, Final Four's here.
Final Four.
What are we thinking?
That second game tonight's going to be excellent. I'll stuck with Arizona the whole time. I'm sticking with them now, but it wouldn't shock me if Michigan beat them. I'll go Arizona tonight, and I'll go Connecticut tonight.
Coach, what do you think?
I'm an Illinois guy. I like Brad Underwood. He's old school. He's got that roster full of European guys, which to me, they can. It doesn't matter if they're 7 foot tall, whether they can pass, shoot. I like his style of defense, and they rebound the basketball. They rebound their 3-point missed shots better than any team in the country.
What do you think, Kenny?
I'm gonna go Illinois because I have to go through there to get to my sons, and
it's a good logic.
I'm gonna go Michigan because they beat Alabama.
I think the interesting thing here is probably, in my opinion, the two best teams play each other today. It's Arizona and Michigan. I just think that's the way it's worked out here.
I think it is also.
And Michigan's got some grown men out there.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But back to what you said about Illinois, if you go back to the seeding, and I think Illinois, they beat a 9 seed, and everybody else has been a double digit. So in a tournament like that, they kind of worked out good for them.
I'm not betting against Danny Hurley. I'm done.
Not after that.
I'm not betting against him anymore.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was just insane. Mention one other thing as we kind of wrap the show up. I told Kenny and I told everybody, I'm going to tell the listeners, it's not the Lady Balls anymore. It's the Lady Ball. They're down to one player, guys. Coach, that's got to be tough. You coach college to have everybody leave like that. That's got to be rough.
I wasn't there when they did all the portal and the NIL. I to me, that would just be a nightmare to have to deal with all that. Just retaining your kids. You know, you get young kids out of high school, like take MTSU, for example. Yeah. They got a great group of young girls. You know, their job is got to keep them.
You got to
recruit them every year.
Right.
And, but that following that they have over at MTSU is great. And I think those young ladies on that team know that they're special to a lot of that whole community. So that may, keep those kids around. And then those coaches will go out and find, what holes you need to fix what you needed this past year. But some of these teams, like you said, they lose everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody goes to
a 1-year contract.
It's a rental. It's a rental program.
1-year rental.
Some places is a rental thing.
And it's changing the game of basketball from the standpoint you're not seeing teams with continuity. You're not seeing the Cinderella stories are kind of over with a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you build a team from scratch every year. I don't know how you do it.
It's hard as on a fan because you don't. There's players you get to watch 3 or 4 years. Yeah, and you enjoyed watching them. And,
like you guys, big UT fans, and you come to be able to see
like
this
Ellis.
Got to watch them develop all the way through, and now you just.
It's hard to have favorite teams, and and I think a lot of that has to do also with all these your DraftKings, your sporting. Mm-hmm. I mean, young kids are involved in that stuff, whether it should be or not, and it's that. In fantasy football leagues, like when I grew up, I cheered for the Atlanta Braves even through the years when they weren't any good.
Right, yeah.
And then when they got, I stayed a fan no matter what.
TBS.
Just like Kenny's been an Alabama fan.
It's kind of funny. We tell people in pro football especially, don't gamble or you're suspended. Yet every advertisement you come to is somebody about gambling. I mean, you're
And then,
promoting.
then at the end, it tells you if you have a problem, call this number.
Right. But we're promoting it.
Right.
It's just crazy.
It's a business.
Yeah.
It's sports entertainment. I'm
Well,
almost.
your girls coach, what do you think about the girls finals? Is now we've got what, South Carolina and UCLA. What do you think on that one?
I'm gonna pull for UCLA. I like Gino and like I said, I like Texas. I was kind of pulling for them teams yesterday, but it didn't work out. I was trying to watch it on the phone as we were driving back from Panama City Beach, and but UCLA's good. I mean, they're good. They got the height. All those girls can shoot the eyes out of it, and there's good when you got that post player for UCLA just protecting the rim.
Right.
Like she made a couple blocks last night against Texas that was unbelievable. That one at the end of the game when it was a one possession game, that was huge.
That alters the whole game when you block that.
Oh yeah,
Like
when you protect the rim. You know,
it's interesting how the women's game, the number one seeds all make the Final Four. That happens a lot, really. It really does because they're so much better than everybody else.
More so than
the women, sometimes you kind of get where that team gets to play in front of their home crowd a lot.
Right.
Where on the men's side, it's not that way.
That's
true.
true.
They get to stay home for a long time, and so you have an advantage.
Yeah. Less likely to be an upset.
Right.
Yeah.
Coach, appreciate you coming on. We'll have you back
Enjoyed it.
anytime.
Enjoyed it.
Love to have you back. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We've got another show coming up here in a little bit. And David Thomas will be back on the screen.
Hey, we're about to get into NFL draft stuff. We're getting close.
Right.
Next
We're what,
week.
20 days away?
With 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I got to go home and start studying there. Get ready.
Hey, and I know you were excited. Hendon Hooker got signed by the Titans.
Yeah,
I know Jason was fired up about
He's
that.
been back in Tennessee.
Right.
For a little while, at least.
Is it true they've spent $250 million in free agency? Is that true? I saw
Overall,
that figure this morning.
It's true.
Wow.
It's
A lot
true.
of money,
And they still got a whole lot more.
and they still ain't got a line.
I'm hoping Hooker can catch on to the third.
Hey, I got one.
I am just so glad to hear you and Bill Anderson talking about offensive linemen.
And the lack of a center and a right guard on the Titans.
That's
it.
We don't have one.
Jason, I never thought Bill Anderson and David Thomas would talk about the value of offensive linemen.
Right.
But
It is going to be hard to win without those two guys standing there, though.
If
These players.
Hey, if you're gonna draft Jeremiah Love and count on him to come in and make an impact, and you ain't got a center and a guard, you're in trouble.
Currently, you got
I know it's Easter, but there is a God.
Currently, you got 5 running backs on the roster and 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I didn't understand
and you
the
don't have a center and a guard.
the Michael Carter pickup. I didn't understand.
Don't understand
We
it at all.
can chase a rabbit real quick right here. But
Yeah.
Let's do it next week.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I want to be on the show where we talk about offensive line.
We can do it. I will say one other thing. My prediction is after June the 1st, guess where A.J. Brown's going? The Patriots. Write it down. I think it's a done deal as soon as they can.
Well, they can already go ahead and do that and then not do the paperwork till after June 1. I mean, that's
on releasing a player. I don't know about trading a player.
No, Green Bay done the same thing with their corner. That's not going to be official till after.
That'll be
June
great
1
for your young quarterback.
That'll be 1 year and gone, probably.
That'll be great for your young quarterback. A.J. Brown is a cancel.
He's going to take his books with him so he can read on the sideline.
That's going to be a disaster.
It's amazing how Bill's philosophy of AJ's changed since he left the Titans and went to the Eagles. Because that hurt the Titans.
Well, he has soured. He has soured.
He has soured a whole lot.
He's really soured.
We gotta get it.
All right, let's wrap it up. We'll be back next week, guys.